Today, we're diving into a really timeless question. One that comes from a text all the way back in 1941, but honestly, feels like it could have been written yesterday. And that question is, how do we find real, lasting peace in a world that just seems designed to keep us running?
I mean, does this sound familiar to you? That feeling that genuine happiness is always just around the corner, something you're chasing but can never quite grab? It's a feeling a lot of us share, and it's right at the heart of what we're going to explore today. So let's figure out why that might be.
So, first up, let's talk about this feeling, this modern restlessness. The source text has this incredible way of describing it, calling it a journey through a hazy mist. And that's just a perfect metaphor for how confusing and disorienting life can feel sometimes.
Wow, that's some pretty powerful language, right? A bewildered fellow. It just perfectly captures that feeling of being mentally drained. You know, when you think about our world today, with the constant pings from our phones, the never-ending news cycle, the pressure to always be doing more, achieving more, it's no wonder we end up feeling totally lost and exhausted.
Okay, so if we're all feeling this restlessness, what do we usually do about it? Well, that brings us to a really crucial point. Why our typical strategies for finding happiness, well, why they often fail spectacularly. The text suggests we're basically chasing a mirage, an illusion that looks real but just disappears the closer we get.
And this really breaks it down into two totally different approaches. On one side, you've got the extrovert search. That's the constant push outward for more stuff, more success, more validation. And on the other, you have the introvert path. And just to be clear, this has nothing to do with being an introvert or an extrovert as a personality type. It's all about direction, whether you're looking outside of yourself for answers or you're turning your focus inward.
So let's really dig into this idea of the mirage. It's this core belief that if we just get that one more thing, the better job, the new car, that perfect relationship, then finally we'll be satisfied. But what if that's a huge misunderstanding of how our own minds work? What if our desires can't actually be satisfied by external things at all?
I mean, wow, what a perfect image for this. You don't put out a fire by pouring gasoline on it, right? It just makes the flames roar higher. And it's the same with our cravings. Trying to satisfy them by feeding them doesn't make them go away. It just makes them stronger, and it deepens that restlessness we're trying to escape.
So, if chasing things on the outside is a dead end, what's the move? Well, the text proposes a pretty radical pivot. It's about turning our attention completely around, away from the external world and toward a journey of self-discovery.
And it's not some vague idea either. It's actually a pretty clear four-step process. First, you have to really see the mirage for what it is, an illusion. Then, you make a conscious choice to turn your focus inward. After that, you actually explore what's there. You ponder your inner self. And what you find, ultimately, is what the text calls the inner treasure.
And this is that big aha moment, It's that moment of sudden clarity where you look back on all that frantic chasing and just realize you were on the wrong path the whole time. It's not about beating yourself up over it, but just having this profound understanding that the map you were using was completely wrong.
And when you have that aha moment, your whole sense of what's valuable just flips. The fleeting rewards of the outside world, which the text calls perishable pennies, they suddenly seem kind of insignificant. They just can't compare to the permanent, infinite inner treasure of real joy and peace that you find inside yourself.
Which brings us to the best part, the payoff. What actually happens when we make this inward journey and find that inner treasure? The text describes it as discovering a nectar spring of peace, which just sounds incredible, doesn't it?
And look at what that actually means in practice. That fire of discontent we talked about, it's finally put out. That desperate need to search and acquire more just goes away. Your needs become simpler, not because you're depriving yourself, but because you're already fulfilled from the inside. You unlock this state of genuine, lasting peace.
And this next part? This is a total game changer. Instead of life's challenges and problems being things that stress you out and knock you off balance, they actually become opportunities to grow. Your inner peace is so solid that external stuff can't shake it. It all just becomes part of your journey of expansion. This quote just brings it all home so beautifully. This incredible peace isn't something you have to build or earn or buy. It's something that erupts from within you once you clear away all the noise and distraction of the external search. It was there the whole time, just waiting for you to find it.
So, as we wrap up, we're left with this pretty powerful question. After seeing these two completely different paths laid out, the frantic outward search versus the calm inward journey, we're all invited to ask ourselves,
where will my search for peace begin?